Hello. Hi. Welcome to my stream/video. My name is Mitchell Mander, and we're going to be talking about Pokemon Horizons episode 27 today. A pretty simple episode, but we will have our little chats with it. But anyways, for the people that are brand new, showing up for the first time, if you're just discovering this channel just now, as you're watching this video/stream, be pretty cool if you sub the channel, you like the video, and join the chat. I'd like to have you and get your thoughts on the Pokemon Horizon series. I do this after each episode that airs, usually on Saturdays. I might do the streams on other days if I'm not able to do it on Saturday, but yeah, so just an FYI. I usually try to go around 12 noon Eastern. Sometimes I go a little bit later, sometimes, yeah, just depends. But anyways, we're going to give it a couple minutes for people to show up. Before I go on, I just want to say a shout out to Game Chops. If you can hear the music in the background, it's from their stream, their video game study lounge stream. You should go check it out and maybe subscribe to their channel. I mean, I listen to it whenever I'm working or just relaxing and stuff. I mean, puts me in a chill mood, so go check them out. Anyways, let's see who's here. There's 5 people that are currently watching according to the stream, or the stream data that I'm getting from YouTube. Siasm, what's up? I gave this a pretty high score because of how happy this made me. I don't know why. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily review this one, because this is one of those episodes where it's kind of a little tricky to review because of to be completely honest, the episode literally can be summed up as Liko and the others hanging out in the wild area making curry or gathering ingredients and stuff. But I can explain a few things that also aid this episode, or I guess some additional details within this episode that I do find interesting. I do think that the episode was okay at best, personally, but this episode was fine. I think it was better than episode 13. I'll give it that. Curry review. Dude, curry sounds actually pretty good. That would make a good lunch, actually. Maybe one of these days I'll go and get curry again. It's been a while. But how are you all doing? I know there's 4 of you watching, and yeah. You want to chat and say something? Go ahead in the chat. We already got Siasm in there, so go in there and chat with us. This episode is more dot development. Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of a continuation from previous episodes, so I guess I can go and give my thoughts on the episode. Like I said, I thought the episode was okay. I think it's better than episode 13. This is kind of a continuation from that episode and also episode 16 in a way, because the whole thing about it is Dot is frustrated because it seems like she got some fake information about the black or the shiny Rayquaza. So she's frustrated, but Liko and the others, want her to, de-stress and not worry about it constantly. So they hang out, they have curry, and yeah. Also, Greedent, aka Satan, the Pokemon, showed up in this episode, so yeah. that was a thing. Another thing that was interesting is the hiker that shows up in the episode. It's from the Galar region, but also that same hiker showed up in Journeys. I don't know if it's the same person. Obviously, this is the Pokemon world. A lot of people look the same. I mean, look at how many Nurse Joys and Officer Jennies there are. So, I imagine it's probably not the same individual that interacted with Ash and Go back in episode 101 of Journeys. But I do find that interesting. If it's the same person, that is interesting, to say the least. The explorers are kind of interesting in the episode. We got to actually see them banter a little bit, a banter among themselves. And I thought that was pretty neat. You get to see their personalities a little bit. Also, I'm going to stop calling Spinal, Spinal. It's Spinel, according to what they were calling him in the episode. So, yeah. Unless the dub decides to change his name. But I think I'm just going to call him Spinel from now on. But it seems like the explorers are going to be pursuing Rayquaza. And they're going to be observing everything. Which actually I think is actually the smart thing to do instead of just brute forcing it. So, yeah. What's up, Clawliz? What's up? Hi, welcome. It's this. Both of you are back from last week. Hopefully we get some more people here. This time around. I mean, granted, this episode wasn't the most like crazy episode or anything. This is more of a chill episode, so yeah, we can talk about it. Zur is actually an Nidoking fan. Theory confirmed. Yep. That was another interesting tidbit from the episode. What if he finds out Nidoking is actually his enemy? That will be a twist. Trying to think what else. But yeah, this is mainly Dot focus. It's just her coming out of her shell a little bit more, learning to kind of, not be completely like frustrated all the time. She's mad that she fell for fake information again, which happened in episode 16, I want to say. So I also like the fact that when she did the Nidoking segment, she talked about, oh yeah, recently I had a triple battle. I think it's referencing episode 16 as well, so that's cool. But we are going to an antique shop in next week's episode, which it looks like might not be the best thing for them, because I think Roy's about to lose or they're about to lose the ancient Pokeballs. But for me, this episode's okay. It's nothing like crazy. I think it's better than episode 13, like I said earlier. So I'd say probably like a 5 or something would be fair. It's kind of an average episode, personally. What's up, Thomas? This episode makes an Explorer training episode quite likely. Yeah, probably. I actually wouldn't mind if we got an episode dedicated to them. Again, I think that should be placed when we're heading to the next region. That actually would be a good thing. I'd prefer that than just like, hanging out on the ship and, doing training there. We've already done that twice. I mean, obviously Liko and Roy need to get stronger, but we also kind of need to hang out with the Explorer sometime and kind of develop them a little bit. Which this episode did a little bit, so. I do think the opening is hinting that Ametheo is going to be getting some training in the future. At least I hope so. The openings can be hit and miss in that department. Remember the Sun and Moon opening where Ash looked all sad? I think it was the last one. And we never really got something like that happening in the series, so. I remember people like, oh, this is Ash after losing the league. And then he won. Oh well. But yeah, we probably should be getting episode titles and summaries this upcoming week. We have a title and summary for the next episode, but I didn't make a video on it just because there wasn't really a whole lot to talk about based on what I read in the summary. We should be getting some more interesting episode titles and summaries soon. I get the feeling that we're kind of like coming to an end when it comes to this Galar arc. I'm giving it a couple more episodes before we figure out where we're going. We're probably going to have like... Well, seeing as the Explorers are kind of just hanging back now, I don't know necessarily that we're going to run into them again before the end of the Galar portion of this story. I do feel like we'd only got so much more time, though. I was hoping we'd get Nessa or something. But I'm starting to doubt that. But who knows? Like how Spinel is still keeping information to himself. Yep. He's operating by himself, so he doesn't want to spread the details to the other members, at least not yet. He might have his own agenda. That makes me wonder if like the Explorers are going to end up like fighting each other at some point. You know? You never know. But hey, we got 7 people here. What's up, y'all? I hope you brought curry, because I think we need to get this curry party started. Like I said earlier, curry sounds great. Also, you should probably like the video because it helps the channel. So I'd like to know what you guys thought of this episode. I know, again, it's not like a super heavy episode. There's just little tidbits here and there. Alright, 10 episodes in Galar so far. I guess we should expect to stay in certain regions for a certain set amount of episodes. Liko and Dot were the cutest. I'm actually starting to like their dynamic now, even though they're both kind of introverted. Liko kind of came out of her shell a little bit earlier than Dot. Dot, it's taken her a little bit of time, but at least it's happening. At least 7 episodes less for Kanto. Kanto was like, well, about 6-7 episodes, because I think episodes 7 and 8 we were on our way to Paldea. And then we were in Paldea until episode 16, I want to say, and then we had 2 episodes where we were on the ship. Granted, one of those episodes was flashback in Paldea. So if you want to count that as being part of Paldea, go right ahead. And then we've been in Galar for a little while now, so I just feel like we're getting to the point where we're wrapping things up. We're definitely gonna know where we're going next fairly soon. I liked the episode and I gave it a 7, but I'm kind of concerned because this is a pretty slow start compared to the first arc. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta build it up. I mean, the climax for the finale of the first chapter of Pokemon Horizons was just a couple weeks ago, and it was very action-packed. So, starting out this arc kind of slow and kind of building in with Terrapagos, you know, traveling around with it now that it's out of the pendant. That's kind of going to be the focus, I feel. I just hope the explorers are still involved in some way. I know that they said they're going to kind of go after Rayquaza and they're going to be observing for a little bit, but yeah. I like how they put the pieces together that it's not Terrapagos that's awakening the Pokemon, it's actually Rayquaza. So that's what they're going after instead of Terrapagos for now. I also like Liko talking to Molly. Yeah. I like their interactions. Excuse me. I hope we get another I hope we get a Molly focus episode again sometime in the future. Maybe one when she runs into her family or something. I just think Orla probably needs it the most, and maybe the old man, even though the old man's kind of just there for exposition purposes. And to give his wisdom. I guess let the writers cook. Well, hopefully they don't burn the meal. Hopefully it turns out to be delicious. I want to see Karen of the Johto Elite Four. She could develop Liko with her philosophy that trainers should try to win with their favorites. We'll see. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to Johto. Orla focus episode is confirmed. When? Did we get new episode titles? Oh. By the way, we will get an Orla episode soon. It was confirmed by Liko's Japanese VA during an interview. Okay. That is good. I'm all for that because she definitely needs it. I want Dot to catch a Blitbug, which evolves into Dottler, and then Orc Beetle. Do you think that's going to happen before we leave Galar? Because I'm unsure if Dot's going to catch any Pokemon at the moment. Maybe she will. We'll see. We don't know exactly, but it's coming. Probably in the next couple of months, I'm gonna guess. It'd be cool when we go to Hoenn that she has like a focus episode there, because didn't she like work in Hoenn or something for a little bit? If I remember from the freed Captain Pikachu backstory episode. Maybe we'll tackle that at some point. That could be another option. Okay, Thomas. I mean, they could do that, but we'll see. By the way, what's this music that's playing? It's actually kind of cool. Oh. Not really sure. I am curious to see how we're going to transition to the next region. Like, are we going to learn this information, like, real soon? Like, we're going to the antique shop. It looks like that's going to probably lead into the episode after that, I think. Because if I remember correctly, we do have an episode title and summary for the next episode. Actually, no. We just have it for next week's episode. Excuse me. We don't have anything beyond that yet. My bad. I was thinking ahead. I keep forgetting it's November now. I'm going to look it up, though. Give me 1 second. Because I swear if there's episode titles out here, I'm going to be mad. Okay, next week's episode is The Stolen Treasure, and it's they go to the antique shop, and then, yeah. We already know what's going on. Roy loses the ancient Pokeball, so. I imagine probably anytime between Monday and Thursday next week we're going to get some new episode titles and summaries. This is around the time they do it each month, so. This episode is wholesome. I don't know why. I like the shot of the Rising Bull tacklers walking back to the ship. Oh yeah! Towards the end of the episode, it was pretty cool. What was up with Liko doing the heart thing? That was another moment that was interesting. Another thing that I thought was funny that Liko said was, well, according to the sub, she said, the second best thing in the world after Pokemon, or the best thing in the world after Pokemon is curry. I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny. It's making me kind of hungry because it's lunchtime where I'm at. But I can wait. I hope it's not fillery. I hope not. I feel like, again, even though like these episodes, like this episode, not really anything super like important happening to this episode. The only thing we know is that it carries on to the next episode because Liko's grandma is like, oh yeah, I know this person at this antique shop. We should go check them out. They might know something. So it's leading into the next episode, and then whatever happens in that episode will lead into the next, and so on and so forth. I like the less episodic direction the series has taken. But yeah. I think Nick is at work, but he might be on break. Are you listening in? Gonna give your 2 cents? If not, I guess I'll ask for it later. We do have 8 people watching now. What's up, y'all? Just gonna say really quickly, if you could, go vote in the poll, and if you haven't liked the video yet, you should probably do that, because it helps the channel. And join the chat. Let me know what you thought of episode 27 of Pokemon Horizons. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'm gonna give this episode 6 out of 10. That's fair. It's not the most. It it's just a nice episode. It's just I guess a comfort episode. You just kind of chill and watch. It's not an episode I'm necessarily gonna go back and rewatch, unless I watch the dub at some point. Still no news on the dub either. Still, I'm guessing January. This is Kirby. I think so. I think this is like a remix of like Superstar music. But wow, guys. For the new people that joined, I hope you brought curry. Join the curry party over here as we hang out and talk about Pokemon Horizons. Okay. Again, this is not a whole lot going on in this episode, so there's not really a ton to talk about. So, gonna leave it to the chat to give it to you guys, give the floor to you guys, give me some stuff to chat about. Or you could chat about miscellaneous stuff too, so whatever you guys want to do, I'm up for it. It's been confirmed that the French dub will begin airing in December. Then that probably means the English dub is going to follow suit pretty soon. Either afterwards or around the same time. This series is doing a good job with balancing action-heavy episodes with chill episodes. Actually, that's a good point. Like, you don't get too many, like, chill episodes, like, in a row or whatever. Or, like, action-heavy episodes in a row. There's, like, a neat balance between the two. I'll give it that. The prior series kind of struggled with that a bit. Curry review, not gonna lie. I mean, I need to go and buy some curry and actually do a live review of that. That would be kind of a little unexpected for the channel. Be like, hey guys, I'm gonna try this curry. Oh, it was good, or oh, that was awful. We're turning into a food channel, guys. We went from streaming video games and talking about Pokemon to now reviewing food items. We're starting with curry. Next week we're doing sandwiches based on Paldea sandwiches. Who knows what they're going to do in Gen 10. Probably going to be making candy or something. Who knows? I don't know. I really hope TPCI begins marketing Horizons. Yeah, I hope so too. At least give us like a trailer or something. It's been a while since the snippet of episode 1 came out. Maybe they should probably be doing more teasers, I'd say, leading up to it. I guess once we get like a confirmed date when it's coming out, they're probably going to start like slowly showing off snippets from the episodes. Be sure to watch it this day. 1/1/24. Probably won't be on New Year's Day though. Also, I realized curry has berries. Yep. As I say in Sword and Shield, you can make different kinds of curry. If every region have episodes like this, then if they visit Alola, I want them to do Malasadas. That's a good point. I feel like if they're going to do Malasadas, How has to show up, but I don't know if that's going to happen, if we're going to get any crossover with characters like that. At least not yet, at least. But yeah, Malasadas, they got to do it. That was the big thing in Sun and Moon, or in Alola. I really dislike how TPCI is still treating the dub so terribly like before. I had high hopes when they would change their way of managing the dub since Horizon provides a clean slate, but no. Yeah, I was hoping that too. That's kind of why I just don't watch the dub. Like, I respect the VAs, I respect the people involved in it. It's just not my thing personally. Like the way that's been handled. Like certain aspects of it I'm just not a fan of. I haven't been a fan of for a long time. Which is kind of why I've literally been sub for Pokemon since like the XY days, honestly. Late XY, I want to say. Uh-oh. What's going on with the stream? Give me a second, guys. Let me see. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I think it's okay now. I'm getting an error message from YouTube and it's saying that it's having some buffering issues. So if I cut out at any point, just an FYI. I'm not just cutting off the stream randomly. That's just YouTube being YouTube. Anyways, I'm going to catch up on the chat here. I'm kind of falling behind. Love the development for the characters with Dot becoming more confident in herself and not to always stress out. I like that too, yeah. So she's not angry at herself constantly. Because like the thing about it is like she's basically mad at herself, but nobody else within the Rising Volt Tacklers is mad at her. So this is kind of like a lesson to her to chill out. You make mistakes, but don't like sweat it. We all make mistakes, so you just gotta learn to realize your mistakes. Just don't worry about it constantly. Just chill, have some courage. I don't watch dubs, but it sucks knowing how it is handled, especially because Horizons is good, and most viewers are going to have to wait for the dubs without knowing that there are subs out there. I just wish that they would just release the subs already. They're like the only, like, Pokemon, I swear, like, Pokemon's like the only, like, series, like, mainstream series, like, out there that doesn't have, like, the subs out there. I think even some other series, have the sub version available. I think does Yu-Gi-Oh have the subs available for out there? I don't know how available Yu-Gi-Oh is. I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh in a long time, but I guess I'm not certain on that aspect there. I think Yokai Watch, you can watch the subs. I think, but I might be wrong. You can correct me in the chat if it's out there. If you're into that show. I don't know. I just wish they'd just do it already. Most people literally watch the subs and they're aware of it. So why not just do it already? They literally did subs for Ash's final chapter within the series, that trailer way back in December. So they have the ability to do it. Just do it. Also, Metheo agreeing with something Spinel said. That's growth too. I love that he suggests a new goal for the explorers and see which one they will follow. Yeah, actually that's pretty neat because like they didn't really seem to get along before. And the fact that he's willing to kind of, speak his mind is definite growth. And it shows that he's putting his foot down. He's not just listening all the time, I guess. So that's cool. I also Also, I smell the potential of a Spinel versus Dot in the future. Just them two, considering they're the brains and hackers of their crew. Yeah, I could probably see that. What's Zerk gonna think when he finds out that Dot is Nidothing? It's gonna destroy him. Also love the tons of wild Pokemon that they showed in the wild area this episode, like the infamous first encounter Onyx. Oh yeah. Oh, from the games? Oh, that's going way back. I mean, Sword and Shield are not the best Pokemon games in my opinion, but I do remember that moment within the game when I played it. Almost 4 years ago now. It seems like the vote is split even right now. We got 7 votes. Actually, no. Well, not quite. There is 7 votes. One person gave it a 10-9, which I'm guessing is probably Fizzle Wizard, because Iono is not in the episode, let me guess. But 8, 7, and 5 or lower is tied. 3 votes each. Someone gonna break that tie? I guess we'll find out. Okay, where was I? Trying to think what else I want to talk about here. I guess I'll just read the chat. Call this had something else to say here. I still find it interesting that Spinel didn't reveal all of his info. I wonder why he doesn't mention Liko's importance to all this. That's what I think he wasn't honest about. Yeah. That's right. He realizes that she's kind of, connected here. And he's not saying it outright because I think the explorers need to kind of realize that, or the other explorers don't realize that Liko is still pretty significant in this whole thing. I mean, they're aware that she has Terrapagos, but they're pursuing Rayquaza for now. Then again, I mentioned earlier that we might not see the explorers again. And let me retract that. If we run into Rayquaza again, then they'll probably be there. I do think we're going to get something towards the end of, I guess, the story arc where we're going to have an all-out battle between the explorers and the Rising Volt Tacklers. Hopefully by that point, Liko, Roy, and maybe even Dot are a lot more competent and can hold their own in battle besides facing off against Konia and Zerk. Okay, like compared to episode 15, this has more effort put into them because it's not a recap, more like we're progressing these characters and like it feels more lively. I think it's episode 13. I thought it was episode 13 because wasn't that the episode? That was the one episode that I rated low in Horizons, if I remember correctly. That's what I thought. It looks like the merchant for the next episode might be another one of Spinel's plan to slow down the crew like he did with the Bishop trainer. Oh yeah. Do you think that he's connected to the explorers? I mean I guess he might be, since he's taking the ancient Pokeballs. The two things that I think going in the next episode, either he is like an agent of the explorers, or he's just like sees the ancient Pokeballs and wants it in his antique shop or something. I guess we'll find out when next week's episode airs. Not a lot of people didn't like this episode because it was fillerish and uneventful. I mean, that's fair. I mean, usually when an episode is really good, I go on Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it, and like everybody's going crazy about the episode. When an episode comes out and I don't see much talk about it, that's when I'm kind of like, okay, this is probably, you know, an alright episode, but I'll judge it for myself, kind of thing. That's kind of what I thought going in this episode. I think the one thing I noticed that people were talking about was Liko, like with the heart thing. And Dot. Those were like the main things I saw. And then a few little things I saw online about the explorers and stuff. It's going to happen, you know. There's going to be episodes that the community isn't fond of. It, you know, it just happens. Or they'll just go crazy on certain episodes. We see an image of him contacting someone saying he got the Rayquaza Pokeball. Okay, yeah. Then there's a likely chance that he is working with the explorers then. Really? Like, this episode, it's not filler considering it's connected with the next, with Diana mentioning about her friend. I mean, like I said, I like, again, the episode is, I'd say, more uneventful than filler. It's, unless you want to say this is just filling in time. But yeah, I don't necessarily think Horizons has filler in the traditional sense, I guess, since every episode leads to the next one. It's a continuous plot, so to say. Even if certain elements in the episode don't have anything to do with said plot. I guess it's up to each individual's interpretation of the series, I guess. Another silly grammar error from me. Yeah. You're good. This ain't a quiz. I ain't the English teacher over here judging everybody on their what they're saying. Handing out F's. You get an F. Nah, you're good. A lot of people really like this. They seem aware that this is very insignificant compared to others, but we're also here for these characters. I also saw folks saying that they want more Rise and Bolt tacklers and interaction. Yeah. These are pretty nice. Like, again, that's why I wouldn't rate the episode high, but it's a fine episode. I like it more than episode 13. That's all I'm going to just... That's kind of my bottom line, is it felt like an improved version of that episode. I will say one thing I forgot to mention. I think one thing that Roy needs to work on is him just running off, because he did that in this episode with him running into the Onyx. He tends to do this a little bit too much. He gets a little bit too curious about Rayquaza, and he's like, "Oh, that might be Rayquaza." It's Onyx. Also, I really want to try Roy's curry because I love some spicy curry. I adore Roy's curry. That sounds both good and scary. It might be too spicy for me. I can only handle so much when it comes to spicy food. If it's too spicy, I'll get sick. Yeah, he needs to slow down a bit, and I think the next episode might help with that. Possibly. I feel like Roy running off may lead to actual consequence in the future, but it's difficult to tell. Yeah. We kind of got that a little bit in the Mine episode, because he was doing that same thing there, but he didn't really kind of learn from that. I still think there's some things that could have been done better throughout that Galar Mine portion of the story. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Roy's curry so spicy you breathe fire. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was actually kind of funny. I was not expecting that. I'll say that moment, because I saw him like, oh, the old man has something to say again. It's, it's kind of vague and telling a little riddle here, but wasn't expecting that little funny scene. Again, another thing too is Greedent, aka Satan, showed up in this episode, and if you've watched my Pokemon Unite streams in the past, yeah, you'll know exactly why this Pokemon is literally the embodiment of evil. So, they brought the literal evil Pokemon. Yes, even more evil than Giratina Pokemon back. So, at least they didn't capture one of the squirrels. Because, yeah, I'd be commenting on Satan all the time. Like, yeah, it showed up again. Do you think there may be a moment? Actually, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Sorry. Before I hold that thought, I also love that we get the trio's major episode in the second arc to begin, where the last week was Liko's, and this week with Dot, and next week maybe with Roy. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Because last week's episode, Liko focused. This week's episode was primarily Dot focused, with Liko also kind of being a secondary part of the episode as well. And then Roy, probably with the ancient Pokeballs, is the focus of next week's episode. That's a good point. Greedent is a menace in Unite, and Sword and Shield DLC, and Sword and Shield in general. Exactly. He's literally evil. If you know how to play him in Unite, he's just like... It's just like, alright, GG's everyone. We're done. Greedent's here, and the person knows how to play this Pokemon. It's over. It's Jovert. It's just Jovert. Do you think there may be a moment in the future where the Rising Volt tacklers decide to show a bit of discipline to the kids? Possibly. It's all gonna depend on, I guess, what they do personally. Like, what if they do something that causes harm to the whole the group as a whole? It could be a learning lesson for them. I mean, Liko's grandma's on board as well, and if Liko does something that she doesn't like, or like is too risky, she might be disciplined for that. Who knows? It's kind of hard to say. Freed kind of feels like a father, figure to Liko and Roy, though. So maybe. I wouldn't be against it, as it would make the series the more grounded. Yeah. I guess we'll see what they decide to do, if they decide to go that route. Like what lessons they teach, like Molly did with Liko in this episode. Yeah, maybe they get into a dangerous situation where they like again, like we mentioned earlier, Roy running off. We'll just say that he runs off, Liko follows, and they get like in a very dangerous situation, and they're supposed to be in an area that, we'll just say, hypothetically, they're in a place that is notoriously dangerous and they shouldn't go off the path, I guess. And then Roy does that, and they like nearly get like taken out by a Pokemon or something, and Freed steps in, saves them, and then takes them back and doesn't allow them to come out or something like that, just because they disobeyed or something. Like, yeah, you're staying in now or something. I don't know. I know that's kind of a vague way of putting it, but that could potentially happen down the road. I guess we'll see. Ain't no way people call this episode a Journey's moment. People call this episode a Journey's moment? On Twitter? Do I need to look this up? Was it Twitter or was it just like on Cerebi or do you know where people were saying that? I can look it up. I mean, I can try at least. I feel like the Rising Volt tacklers are encouraging Liko to be reckless, but there's also repercussions of that. A little bit, yeah. Like when she ran out in the previous episode trying to save Terapagos, she did that without contacting anybody, which could have been dangerous if her grandmother wasn't there. Yeah, think about it. If her grandma wasn't there, that would have been it for Liko. I love how each kid have like a mentor who is kind of similar to them, where Liko and Molly, Murdoch, Ludwig with Dot, and Orla and Freed with Roy. Kinda, yeah. I do kind of feel like Freed kind of is the mentor for both Liko and Roy, though. But I do see the Molly-Liko connection. And a little bit with Orla and Freed for Roy. Alright, I am looking this up. Journey's moment. Pokemon Horizons. This is the exact moment Pokemon Horizons became Pokemon Journeys. What? What is the context? Oh, I know what Pokefurlax was talking about here. Okay. It was for a different episode. I think one problem I have with the writing in Journeys and Horizons is that they pack way too much stuff in a single episode. Like the individual plots could benefit from it being a lot simpler and spend more time on the funny moments that got people into Pokemon in the first place. What? They pack way too much. Okay, Journeys, I can say for Journeys they pack way too much into a singular episode, just because it's an episodic series. Horizons, on the other hand, no, I don't agree with that. I think Horizons has better pacing overall, and it's also telling a full story. So I would say that this is a hot take. Liko and Molly do share the same reserved personality. That is true. I disagree with this. Me too. Where did you find this? Twitter. I just typed in Journey's moment, Pokemon Horizons, and looked at the latest, and it's one of the things that came up. Yeah, the structure is like way different. Journeys was told in an episodic format, so that like the episodes didn't necessarily connect to one another, and you could hop into the series whenever you wanted to. That's how they designed the series, because the series was airing on Sundays when it first started, before it changed over to Fridays. I mean, there's a story going on, but there's a story going on. It's just, you know, a lot of episodes kind of have their own thing going on. It's self-contained. It's the most self-contained Pokemon series ever. Horizons, on the other hand, is a continuous story. There's a story that's being told that carries on with each episode. Yeah, so it's just, you know, people, you know, if that's your thoughts on the series, I guess go ahead, but it, you know, I just very much disagree with that take. Anyways, I said what I need to say. Okay, that's fine. If you want to just chill and just hang out, and, you know, if there's anything you want to say or just anything else, I'll just go right for it. I'm here chilling, just hanging out, reading chat, and, you know, seeing what you guys have to say, and we can, you know, talk about whatever. Yeah, like, what if the Mega Evolution Special became the main series? I mean, it's kind of canon, since it focused on Alon. And Alon went from that and came into the series. Also, Marin also came in as well. And I am Coco levels of hungry. I see. I gotcha. Bye and go watch baby turtles eating fruit. Yep. Well, all I have to say to that is go ahead, have some fruit or whatever food you want. Go for it. Thank you for joining. As always, it's always a pleasure. Feel free to jump in anytime you want. Now, yep, and yeah. Have a good one. Thanks for joining again. Also, if to rank the anime protagonist, does Alon count? I mean, he's kind of the main protagonist of the Mega Evolution episodes. He does kind of feel like a main character, though, like towards the end, just because he's very pivotal to like the finale of XY, like the Team Flare arc. He is a very like important member. I mean, obviously he came into. I don't really like how he was implemented in the league. I mean, that's a discussion for like another time. But the main thing is that Alon does feel like he was a prominent character, especially towards the end, especially during the Team Flare arc, since he was technically a part of Team Flare as well. So. Okay, I gotta go at 1 a.m. for me. See you in the next episode. Okay, that's fine. If it's getting too late where you're at, I hope you have a good night. Sleep well, and then we'll talk again sometime soon. Thank you for joining. Alright, guys. There's a couple of you all left here. It looks like there's 5 people still watching. So, go ahead and join the chat. Say something. If you want to keep chatting, just let me know. Oh, you got. Oh, everybody's leaving. All right, you're good. Thank you for joining again. F is it's a pleasure. You're welcome to come back anytime and chat, or come to any stream you want. It's up to you guys. I stream multiple times a week, so at least twice. So yeah. I guess we'll go on just a little bit longer, unless some people still want to chat here. Let me take a look at the poll really quickly. Just 7 votes. That's okay. It's still a tie between 8, 7, and 5 or lower. I'll throw the tie-breaking vote in if no one else does. I think this is Sonic 2 music. And that it is. Okay, guys, is there anyone still here that wants to chat? I know the main people that were here chatting are all gone now, but is there anyone else that wants to chat? Do you have anything? If not, we'll probably wrap this up if I don't get anything in the next minute or so. I'm also getting hungry myself. Probably not going to have curry. I'll probably just make some ramen or something. That actually sounds pretty good to me right now. Okay. I know we have 4 people watching. I just don't know if they're necessarily, or you guys are necessarily going to be in the chat. But I'm pretty much out of things to say. Just because, again, this episode wasn't super eventful. Just some interesting things here or there, but I've already said my piece with that. So, if nobody else has anything else to say or chat about, I think I'm going to wrap things up here. So, I'm going to end the poll. Okay, the poll has ended, and we got 7 votes. It's a tie between 8, 7, and 5 or lower. I'm just going to say because I felt like this episode was like a 5 or something like that. I think we'll just rate this a 5 out of 10. I know some people enjoyed this episode, and that, each to their own. We had a couple ratings in the chat. I think we got a 6 and a 7, I want to say. I just feel like it's a 5 out of 10 episode. Better than episode 13, though. I'd just say it's just, okay-ish episode, average episode. We'll see what happens in next week's episode, which seems like it's going to be more eventful, seeing as Roy is losing his ancient Pokeballs. Yeah, not exactly the best thing to lose, considering it is pivotal to the main plot of the series, since we're collecting those Pokemon. I wonder if they'll come out and, attack the antique dude. And I guess we'll find out officially what's this dude's deal. Because I do find it kind of a little interesting that Diana knows this guy, but he might be working with the Explorer. So is he, just selling them out or something? I don't know. We'll find out when next week's episode airs, episode 28. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that's all I got. So I don't see anybody else chatting. I'm just going to go until we hit the 1 hour mark, and then I'm going to end the stream. So yeah, we're just going to chill here for another 2 minutes. So if there's something you got to say, guys, you got 2 minutes. So I'm just going to look on, I guess, I want to say Twitter, but it's now X. Hey, more Mario music. Oh yeah, this is the last episode of Attack on Titan aired. Oh boy. Interesting. Okay, guys. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just call it a day here. Just kidding. 1 more minute. Just 1 more minute. And then we're done. There's 3 of you out there listening. And I hope you're having a great day. Whoever you are. I appreciate the support. Whether you're here, in the chat or not. But yeah. Alrighty. I'm going to end things for sure now. So, if you're still in the chat, if you're still watching, have a good day or night wherever you're at. And I will see you all later. Bye.